Over the past week, it's been series of meetings of politicians talking about 2023. The permutations arrive, the issues about the quality of leadership that Nigeria needs, they've been in the air, and people talking about, debating the issues. The conversation over the next president of Nigeria is now gaining more traction as the different political parties and gladiators are making efforts on how to consolidate on their agenda. The People's Democratic Party at its last National Executive Committee meeting resolved to swap the zoning of the party executive position, as the chairmanship seat will now go to the south and other positions vice versa in that way. But the party threw open the rotation of the 2023 presidential candidate, meaning that they're saying it will not be fixed for any particular region of the country as of now. Well, in Lagos, some politicians were in Lagos where they, in fact, flagged off an advocacy for Bola Tinubu, a former Lagos governor and leader of the APC, asking him to run for president in 2023, with the Lagos state governor, Adeyeye Sanwo-Olu, endorsing the idea. The governor, I'll allow you to listen to Governor Sanwo-Olu at that event yesterday.
You can see Lagos. When we told you that you have kept the best for the last, you can see Lagos. Lagos! One thing that we cannot take away from SWAGA, there are three payoff lines of action, of passion, and a vision. It's only people like this that have strong vision. And like the chairman had said, when you have a strong vision, you need to have a strong passion. I can see that passion in SWAGA. And finally, they have put their passion and the big vision they have into action.
That is the governor of Lagos State, Adeyeye Sanwo-Olu, speaking and somewhat endorsing that organization that's come together, drumming support for Bola Tinubu to run for president in 2023. So you see what I mean? It's now beyond permutation. Politicians are now talking about it for real. You might want to pinch yourself and ask, what year are we already? I mean, we are in 2021. It's not even 2022 yet, but these conversations have started in earnest. They've been talking about this at the late hours of the day, but now we are now hearing it during the day. It then means that the conversation has come to our table as citizens. So let's talk about it tonight, everyone. What this means. 2023, the quality of leadership that we need to have. Why are politicians, why have they started talking about who and how it should be in 2023? I have joining me from our Lagos studio, Senator Adeyeye is in our Lagos studio. Thank you so much, distinguished, for joining us tonight. Let me begin. You are the chair of that organization, that initiative. You called it SWAGA. But the first inkling for anyone will be, why are you talking about 2023 presidency in 2021? Is it the right time to start doing such a thing?
Oh, thank you, Sheon, for asking this very important question. You make a where when the sun shines. We need to start sensitizing people. We are not embarking on any campaign yet. The campaign for the presidency of 2023 has not started. Let me make that clear. We are merely sensitizing people, getting them ready, or not sensitizing them to the idea that very soon the race will be open for all, and getting them prepared for the arduous task ahead. So the race has not started. It's merely a period of sensitization. And I don't think it is too early to start. We are talking of the presidency of Nigeria. The presidency of Nigeria, the man who will hold that office will be presiding over the affairs of almost 250 people in Nigeria from 36 different states, from different ethnic nationalities, belonging to, adhering to different religious beliefs. I do not think it is too early to start making Nigerians to getting familiarized themselves with some of the potential candidates. And we have identified one person that we see is very qualified for that position. And we are sensitizing people to the idea that he might throw his heart into the ring, and these are his qualities when the time comes.
So anyone, as the Constitution of Nigeria provides, that not only that you have to be a Nigerian, you also have to belong to a political party before you can participate in an election in Nigeria, not as a voter, but as someone to be elected. So your party, the APC, has not even said anything about where it will zone, because that conversation has already started in your party, although your party is not really known for the rotation idea. But your party has not even started talking about whether or not it's going to the south or the north. So why are you talking about this now? In fact, you're not even talking about different candidates. You're talking about one person.
Thank you very much for that. The fact remains that President Muhammadu Buhari will finish his tenure in 2023. And since the Constitution of Nigeria is not yet amended to give him an extended tenure, it means we will have a new president in 2023. And it is better we start the conversation right away. 2023 is around the corner. You may think the time is long, but I can assure you it is around the corner. So it is better we get into the action immediately, to begin to have this conversation, to begin to sensitize people into the different candidates that may come out, to let people begin to assess them right now. So the issue of zoning is neither here nor there. If there is zoning, and we adhere to the principle of rotation, which I believe we should in the APC, then of course the presidency will come to the south, by the simple logic that President Buhari is from the north and would have done 8 years. So it will then be the turn of the south to also present a candidate for the presidency of Nigeria. And if that is the case, every zone, every geopolitical zone in the south will be entitled to that slot to feed candidates for the position of president of Nigeria. And so what we have done in our own case is to say, okay, we have a candidate that we think is very qualified, by all means, who towers above others in so many areas, who is very well experienced, who has a very good track record, who is very known all over the country, who has planted seeds all over the place, and who has friends across all the geopolitical zones of Nigeria. The man who is at home everywhere in the country. We believe that, okay, it is better to start canvassing for that person, not necessarily by way of campaign, but letting people to know more of his qualities. Hitherto, people said this particular man is no longer popular in his own area. It's a spent force. It's no longer relevant. But as you can see from our activities in the last few months, with the sensitization that we are doing, you can see that people is well embraced, even in his own area of the country. He's a national figure. He's a nationalist. He is not a tribal jingoist. He's a destabilized Nigeria. And we want people to know that this man has great qualities to be president, particularly when we have challenging times. Now, Nigerians should be thinking of who will succeed President Buhari to continue to put Nigeria on a new pedestal, a kind of a person who will at least ameliorate some of the problems we have now, who can give hope and assurance that we have a better tomorrow.
The question I would like to ask you, because not only that you're an experienced politician, you have been across these political parties. You've been in PDP, not only been in the PDP, you are a frontline executive member of the PDP, so you know how some of these things play out. Should the APC microzone the presidency in 2023, what becomes of your, and it's microzone out of the Southwest, what becomes of your SWAGA idea?
Thank you very much. I do not think the APC should microzone the presidency in 2023. The simple idea is rotation between the North and the South. If you want to do an elaborate microzoning, which I think for now will be very problematic. That will be an agreement between all the top politicians in the country. But for now, the simple agreement to which I believe there is a great consensus is simple rotation between the North and the South. That is why when President Obasanjo finished his term in 2007, it went to the North. And the person who succeeded him was the late President President Omar Musa Yar'Adua. Unfortunately, he did only 2.5 years and he passed on. May so rest in peace. And then President Jonathan succeeded him. But when the agitation for the presidency to rotate back to the North became very loud, it went back to the North. And nobody said, okay, President Yar'Adua was from the Northwest, therefore it should now go to Northeast or North Central. People just simply said, let it go to the North. And that is why even President Muhammadu Buhari, who is equally from the Northwest and even from Katsina, was able to assume the mantle of leadership as the president of Nigeria. So the rotation is simply between North and South. President Yar'Adua was from Katsina. President Buhari is from Katsina. And I believe that that simple rotation, we should maintain it for now. It may be that in future, there will be an elaborate zoning system in which we will now say, okay, let this thing rotate among all the top geopolitical zones. It may even be that in the long run, that rotation will be among states, will be between states, from one state to another. But for now, the simple rotation we have is between North and South. By the time you begin to rotate among states, it may be that we would have agreed that the tenure of the president should not be more than 1 or 2 years. If it is between geopolitical zones, we may say, okay, so it shouldn't be more than 5 years, so that you can quickly go round. So, but for now, when you have a tenure of 8 years for each person, it is only reasonable and logical that it should be, for now, between the North and the South. And after President Buhari must have completed his term, 2023, I believe it should rotate back to the South. And all the geopolitical zones in the South will be entitled to feed candidates, will be entitled to challenge for it.
So it's interesting the way our politics has been, because now Nigerians and politicians are now talking about ethnic politics, region this, region that. It bothers a lot of people who are nationalists in their orientation, and we think that Nigerians are one. How you think that we now should be thinking about ethnic? The question would be, can't a president come from any part of the country?
Let me make it clear to you, Chion, that the man we are projecting is not afraid of the issue of zoning or rotation. Even if the matter, if you throw it to everybody in Nigeria, is the kind of person who is able to challenge for it and is able to defeat all comers. So it's not as if we are looking for any particular advantage. So if you make it open and say, okay, any Nigerian can contest for the position of president, of course, he's quite qualified to do that and is well prepared and ready for it. So, and I believe that it will make a good showing. So it's not, we are not afraid, it's not out of fear, but we only say that in the interest of fairness, in a multi-ethnic, multi-religious society like us, we should give everybody a sense of belonging. We should have a situation in which everybody could say to himself that he can aspire to the highest office in the land. So that is the only reason. But if not, if you even say there is no rotation, there is no zoning, of course, no problem. He will be able to challenge for it. Chief MK Abiola was from the South. His opponent was from Kano State in 1993. And we saw what happened. Even in Kano, Chief Abiola defeated his opponent from that state. So, but we are not afraid of anything. The man we are championing his cause is quite popular all over the country. And we believe that whoever is ready to throw his hat into the ring and to challenge him, we will be ready to meet him at the battlefield.
All right. So let me ask you, because we have been hearing SWAGA for a lot of Nigerians who are not privy to the details of the acronym or what you're doing. What is SWAGA?
SWAGA is an acronym which simply means Southwest agenda for Asiwaju. Let me explain it. When this movement started, we wanted our candidate, who some people have been, particularly in Abuja and some circles, have been saying has no home base. It's a spent force, it's no longer popular, and all that. We wanted to prove to them that the man is very, very acceptable, not only in his own base, but throughout the country. And as the saying goes, charity begins at home. We wanted to prove that first in the Southwest, where it comes from. Southwest, we are not saying it is not even an APC agenda per se. It is a Southwest agenda. We want everybody in the Southwest to vote, to support and rally around this man. And so far, we have been very successful in doing that. We have moved around all the palaces to see most of our top traditional rulers who have endorsed him. Usually, traditional rulers will say, okay, all of you are our children, we are neutral in this matter. We will not take sides. But in this particular case, we have seen them taking sides to say, if it is this man, we are all behind him, we are going to support him. We have seen that the same sentiments being expressed by different groups, even politicians. IPAC, which is the umbrella association for political parties in every state, everywhere we have been to, we have seen all of them coming out, the chairman of all these parties in the Southwest coming out to say, when it comes to the issue of the presidency of this particular candidate, we will jettison our partisan toga and embrace the candidacy of this person. We forget about party politics. We will support him. And that was why we wanted to solidify the home base. Charity begins at home. Once the home base is solidified, I believe the other Nigerians, particularly in our party, we feel more comfortable to feed this candidate, knowing that is a person who can easily win the election for them. Don't forget that one of the selling points for President Muhammadu Buhari in 2015 was that he already had 12 million votes in his pocket. Those 12 million votes, people are saying, oh, in the north, particularly in the northwest, in the northeast, that he already had 12 million votes in his pocket. And so it will be so easy, with support from a few other places, for him to easily win the presidency. And that's exactly what happened. We are also saying that come 2023, the man we are projecting already also has at least 12 to 13 million votes in his pocket. And so it's so going to be so.
How can you prove that?
Easy.
How do you prove that? I mean, he's not run for any presidential position before.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
How do you prove it? No, when you say Bola Tinubu has 12 to 13 million votes in his pocket already, on what basis are you giving that figure?
I'm giving it on the basis of what I have seen on ground. I haven't traversed the length and breadth of the Southwest. I haven't seen people from other political parties saying that when it comes to the issue of Bola Tinubu, they will shed their partisan toga and embrace him and vote for him. I have seen that in the palaces of the Obas. I've seen that among artisans, among students, among market women. When it comes to the issue of the presidency 2023, all of these people, in unison, they will shed every difference. They will forget their differences and vote for this man. And the vote in the Southwest, let me tell you, it's more than 20 million votes. I'm only saying 12 to 13 is already assured. And I say with all sense of responsibility, without any fear of contradiction, that those 12 to 13 votes are already in the bag.
So the question I'd like to ask you is, the man you were rooting for was not in the room yesterday. From the information that we have, is that he's not even in the country at the moment. Perhaps on a medical trip abroad in London, because we've been seeing pictures and videos of a lot of people visiting him. He wasn't there at that meeting. Is he aware of what you are doing? Has he endorsed what you're doing? Is he ready to run? Has he given his word that he's going to run for office?
He was not in the room, you are quite right. He's, to the best of my knowledge, he's still in London. And I made it clear from outside, from our outset, from our onset, that we have not been commissioned by him to begin this sensitization campaign. We have not. We took it upon ourselves to embark on this. It's a voluntary action by patriotic individuals who want to see a better Nigeria. He has not commissioned us. He has not put anything into it. But we believe that we can persuade him and that we can ask other Nigerians to help us in persuading him to join the race, to serve Nigeria and give Nigeria good leadership. We believe we can do that. And that is why we have started early, to sensitize people, and that if we see the kind of support that's on ground, and with pressure coming from here and there, perhaps he will agree to throw his hat into the ring. But I can assure you for now, he is not the one that has commissioned this project. He is not behind it. It's a voluntary action by us, patriotic Nigerians, who are desirous of having a good leadership in this country, and who think that and particularly for the APC, to have a very simple, a very simple electoral campaign, to have a very popular candidate.
But the question I'd like to ask you now is the capacity. What Nigerians want is result, and they want someone who has capacity. Does he have the capacity? And I mean capacity in every aspect of it.
Thank you very much. Well, if you have a good product, you don't need to advertise too much. It will sell. But actually, Bola Ahmed Tinubu has the capacity to be president of Nigeria, and I will prove it to you. First, let me start with the idea of democracy. He's a Democrat, true and true. He fought for this democratic dispensation. He was in the trenches. He was one of the leaders of Nadeko, who midwives the present democratic dispensation we are enjoying in this country today. That's number one. I remain committed to the idea of democracy, always fighting for free and fair elections everywhere, and ensuring that justice is done in all cases. Number two, he was governor of Lagos State, and by all testimony from within the state and outside of the state and even internationally, he excelled, he performed creditably as governor of Lagos State in all areas, in terms of infrastructural development, educational development, even agricultural development, sports, and everything you can imagine, human capacity development. He was excellent. And I believe that was one of the reasons why he was overwhelmingly re-elected in 2003, even when some of his colleagues were not able to make a comeback. He was overwhelmingly re-elected. And not only that, because of his outstanding performance, he had been able to have a hand in all of those who have succeeded him as governor of Lagos State. So that is one critical thing I want you to evaluate. So he has a good track record as a good administrator. He is not a person who is afraid of challenges. You will recall that even the issue of fiscal federalism we are talking about, he was one of the people to put it to test when he created local governments in Lagos State, and the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, decided to withhold Lagos local government allocation for almost 7 to 8 years. Bola Ahmed Tinubu did not bother about that. He went about his business, and he was able to make those local governments to be self-reliant and to be viable. And today, all those 57 local governments are not only viable, they are performing better than any local government in any other state in Nigeria. That is a credit.
All right, Senator, we might not be able to go further because I know if I leave you to it, you probably would go on and on about the man that you're talking about. I don't know if it's the right thing, if your party will even frown at what you are doing, because I'm not sure it's the right time. But, I mean, for the governor of Lagos State to join in that campaign yesterday, it means something. And that's the reason why we called you tonight to speak about it. Senator Adeyeye, thank you so much for coming tonight. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.